Queda con ustedes la presentadora de este programa y portavoz hispana del condado de Montgomery, Lorna Virgilí.
Muy buenas tardes, queridos amigos. Bienvenidos una vez más a casa. Montgomery al día, su programa oficial del gobierno del condado de Montgomery, galardonado a nivel nacional. Y como cada martes a las 12 de la tarde, acá su presentadora y portavoz hispana de este condado, Lorna Virgilí. Muchísimas gracias por esa sintonía. Y bueno, en el día de hoy, fíjense que vamos a tener visita especial. Yo siempre digo que las visitas son especiales, porque de verdad que todas las personas que llegan a nuestro programa, todos son especiales. En el día de hoy se trata de nuestro nuevo jefe de la policía, Marcus Jones, quien nos va a estar acompañando. Ya me mandaron un mensajito de texto que está en camino. El jefe de la policía va a estar con nosotros para abordar varios temas de importancia para nuestra comunidad y todo lo que tiene que ver con liderazgo, visión, confianza comunitaria, la participación comunitaria, perfil racial, empleos, diversidad en la fuerza policíaca, todos los temas pertinentes a lo que es el departamento de la policía de nuestro condado de Montgomery. Vamos a hacer una recapitulación de quién es Marcus Jones.
Yes.
¿Quién es Marcus Jones? ¿Quién
Gracias,
es?
Thank you.
Thank you. Gracias. How are you? Catch your breath. Catch your breath.
Yes. Thank you. Lots going on. Lots going on.
Thank you for being here, for joining us. And I was just saying a little bit in Spanish that, of course, you are our new chief of police, although you've been interim and you've been with the force. So it's going to be 35 years this year, right?
This year, yes, later this year, yes.
35 años este año, pues va a cumplir de ser parte del cuerpo policíaco en el condado de Montgomery. So let me say a little bit about who you are for the benefit of our audience. Mm-hmm. So you started in the force back in 1985.
That's right, yes.
1985 él comenzó en el cuerpo de la policía de Montgomery. Pasó 15 años como policía y oficial y detective. Posteriormente llegó a ser sargento en el 2000. So you were a detective, you've been a police officer. Mm-hmm. Back in 2000 you became a sergeant, mm-hmm. lieutenant in 2004. 2004 se hizo teniente, capitán. En el 2011, capitán.
Yes.
En 2011. Right. Mm-hmm. Y pues ha servido de comandante la unidad antidroga, también en el centro de Silver Spring. En el 2018 se hizo subjefe de la policía, 2018 assistant chief, mm-hmm. and fast forward a year and a half later,
chief. Yes.
It's been a long journey, but the last few months have been like that.
Yes, absolutely.
All right, so let's talk about a little bit about leadership.
Okay.
So with the new administration, the retirement of Chief Manger, who was very loved in our Hispanic community as well, mm-hmm. County executive, new administration, some folks within county government, residents wanted kind of like a new leadership, a new vision, and all of that. And you bring that to the table, but you're old within the department.
Yes.
So tell us about your vision and your leadership, your current leadership as the new chief.
Absolutely. So first of all, it's an honor to be the new chief of police for Montgomery County. From a visionary standpoint, yes, I am a part of the old regime, you might say, but I believe I bring a different type of leadership in the standpoint of, again, sort of under the same theme with Chief Manger, but I am very community engaged and have always been, and I think I want to take it to a higher level. From a perspective that I think will assist our community in better relationships with our residents.
Let me go ahead and translate that. Él verdaderamente es, como se pudiera decir, de la vieja guardia, ya que va a cumplir 35 años de servicio en nuestro departamento de la policía, pero a la misma vez trae su propia visión en cuanto a lo que es nuevo liderazgo para nuestro condado, y se trata más de la participación comunitaria, de verdaderamente exhortar a nuestros residentes a participar más y estar más unidos las relaciones entre lo que es la policía y la comunidad. Let's talk about that vision for more community engagement, Chief. How do we do that?
So I think, again, from my position at the top of the department, being the chief, and sharing my vision with the officers and what I've done in years past to give them some highlights of that. But to really to focus on our officers at the most basic levels, those who are out there answering calls for service and doing things within our community, and to really just to enhance what they're already doing. But to have broader conversations with community members and being more engaged in what they do every single day as a police officer.
La parte de la participación comunitaria es pues los oficiales que están dentro de nuestras comunidades, los que le dan el frente a las llamadas telefónicas, los que están en nuestra comunidad, tener un poco más de diálogo, más de conversación con la comunidad. And in this conversation, this dialogue with the community, is it more to learn a little bit more about the actual needs of the community? Because the police force obviously has different kind of responses. You respond to all sorts of, needs from the community. Right. Is it like to have a better knowledge of what's culturally out there? What is it about?
Yeah, it is. It's about one thing about policing in Montgomery County and in the different areas of Montgomery County. There are not many community or police districts that are just alike. And so when you work in the Silver Spring district, for example, it's a little bit different than working in the Rockville district, in parts of the Rockville, because you have more Potomac, more Poolesville, and it's a different dynamic. So being able to adapt to the and the understanding of what are the needs of that particular community, it's vitally important from a public safety standpoint. And so we have to not only do we have to listen to what the community needs from us, but we also have to be able to have that other side of the dialogue to communicate what we can do for that community so that they clearly understand what the clear vision is about what we can and what we can't do as it relates to those issues in public safety.
Let me go ahead and translate that. Con el tema de lo que es la seguridad pública nos explicaba acá, y voy a hacer un pequeño resumen de lo que acaba de decir nuestro jefe de la policía, Marcus Jones, es el hecho de que todos los distritos que tenemos en el condado pues son diferentes. Las necesidades quizás en la zona de Silver Spring son muy diferentes al distrito de Rockville, que incorpora pues Potomac y la zona de Poolesville. Entonces es comprender obviamente lo que dicen los residentes, pero a la misma vez la capacitación por parte de los oficiales del orden para poder responder a las necesidades de cada uno de nuestros sectores dentro de la comunidad. Let's talk about trust. It's been one of those topics that we have heard in Community Forum for Policing, and we've heard over and over and over again from county residents, specifically in some sectors of the community.
Right.
There have been some incidents last year, it happens, that trust was questioned. And one of your priorities has been to build that trust, community trust. How are you handling that? How are you doing that currently?
So to be as transparent as possible. And so I think if we go back to the incident that happened at the Aspen Hill McDonald's, to really kind of highlight to the community about the way that I viewed what I saw on video. And at the end of the day, it was not my decision, but it's working with the state's attorney's office in order to address this issue about when officers use excessive force. And whenever we have incidents where there's wrongdoing, to have the ability that the community has trust in us that we're going to do something about that.
El factor confianza, pues, ha sido algo que fue cuestionado el año pasado acá por parte de miembros de nuestra comunidad en cuanto a las labores de la policía. Hubo un par de incidentes, pero él acaba de mencionar el que ocurrió en un McDonald's en Kensington, donde hubo imágenes, hubo video. Él pudo revisar las imágenes. Entonces, la palabra primordial que él quiere ejercer es transparencia. Quiere que la comunidad sepa el hecho de que él está mirando, observando todos estos incidentes que se pueden suscitar con la policía y que eso se manda a la Fiscalía Estatal para revisión y obviamente para las investigaciones internas pertinentes. Usted que está en la radio y está escuchando, a lo mejor no lo ves, Marcus Jones es afroamericano, lleva 35 años con nuestra fuerza policíaca y es nuestro nuevo jefe de la policía, confirmado el pasado mes de noviembre por el Consejo del Condado de Montgomery. Let's talk about this topic here, racial profiling. And you had mentioned before that perhaps engaging an outside audit company, enterprise that could help monitor and give feedback as far as the stops that are happening in the community. Some people within minority communities feel that they're stopped more than other communities.
Right.
So can you elaborate on that and where you stand with perhaps hiring the audit firm?
Yeah, so we are in the process of doing our research, and we've identified a research firm that who has experience in doing this in other communities across the United States. Okay. And I think that again, we have to work through our business processes with county government in order to try to bring them on board. And we've identified a couple of other groups, but I think we've really found one that I think really fits the needs, that is going to be able to bring in community members to talk about their experiences with us.
Okay, let me go ahead and translate that, Chief. Algo de lo que él había hablado es lo que se llama los perfiles racial. Cuando la policía pues para a las personas, han habido quejas de que quizás la policía del condado acá hace perfil racial a la hora de parar a las personas por violaciones de tránsito. Más impactadas las comunidades minoritarias, y él había hablado en el pasado de contratar, de hecho, a una firma de auditoría privada, la cual estudie, analice todos los datos existentes, las estadísticas, para monitorear a ver si es de verdad que estamos teniendo dentro del cuerpo policíaco de la policía de Montgomery el hecho esto de perfil racial. Entonces, I know it gets long when I translate. It's like, oh my God, is she ever going to be done with translating? Entonces, pues estamos en el proceso de contratar una firma a nivel nacional precisamente para lograr esto. What would be your directive once we go through the whole process? What would be your directive to that particular audit firm? Things to look for within the data.
So exactly. They're going to be looking at traffic stop data. They're going to be looking at criminal arrest data.
Arrestos criminales, estadísticas de las paradas de tránsito, arrestos criminales.
And so part of that focus is going to be, where do we actually conduct these traffic stops? I really want to know, when we look at the what is the reason behind why we are doing what we are doing? Does it have legitimacy in law enforcement and for public safety, for our citizens, for a safer community?
Entonces vamos a estar analizando básicamente todas las estadísticas ya existentes en cuanto a las paradas de tránsito, etcétera, la correlación que tenga esto con la seguridad pública y también en las zonas que se está ejerciendo. Once it's hired, do you have a timeline for this? Like, when do I want to hire? When do I want something back? When do I want to report? And when am I going to make it public?
So the goal is to have this done within this year. I'm hoping to have it done within approximately, to get it jump started within about 6 months.
Okay.
And then I want them to be able to report back to me within a year to give us the community a final report.
Okay. Y pues esto yo espero que para este año sea la contratación de esta firma auditora, que podamos revelar toda esta información en aproximadamente un periodo de un año, año y medio, una vez que tengamos también la incorporación de la opinión comunitaria. Because you do want residents to be participants in this, do you?
I do. I want them to be participants, because it has to be for this audit firm to really get a good sense of where people are, what is the perceptions and the realities of what our law enforcement, how our officers make our community feel. That needs to be a part of the discussion to give us proper feedback on ways that we can improve our engagement with our community.
Para, pues, obviamente mejorar las relaciones comunitarias, parte de lo que queremos incorporar en lo que va a ser esta futura auditoría es el tema de la participación comunitaria, precisamente para escuchar de nuestros residentes. Así que es eso algo que viene, algo que está incorporando él como nuevo jefe de la policía para verdaderamente darle frente al tema de lo que es las paradas por perfil racial, ya que han habido quejas dentro de nuestra comunidad. Cultural competence. Okay. How is it incorporated today in training, Chief? And I'm thinking Latinos, of course, because this is the audience that we're talking to, that we're speaking to. Incorporated into the training for new recruits, for old guard recruits.
Right.
Because the community has changed.
Sure, absolutely.
The Latino community has exponentially grown. And how is cultural competence for this particular sector of our community included within the training? Because we are Latinos, but we are from many different countries, so we're not all the same.
Yes, absolutely.
Although we sometimes think we're all the same. We're not.
Right.
So how is that incorporated within what you offer today?
So we have cultural diversity training where we highlight just what you just said, that we have a large Latino community with people that come from different parts of Central America, that they come from, from whether it's from Mexico or Peru or El Salvador, just because they're...
Or
Cuba, right? Yeah, right.
Or Bolivia.
Right, yes.
Dominican Republic over there, Puerto Rico. Anyway.
Represent, right? So, and that's what we talk about. We talk about how different these cultures are, right? Within the Latino community, we call it the subcultures, right? Everybody has different some customs and norms, and so we can't look at everybody just one way. And so we highlight that so people understand, our officers understand, particularly if they haven't had a large exposure to those different communities, that they would be experiencing something different when they encounter folks who may be from these areas. Yeah.
Le preguntaba adiestramiento que sea competente culturalmente para la policía, no solamente los nuevos reclutas, sino pues la vieja guardia también. Obviamente nos explica el jefe de la policía que sí, que hay adiestramiento existente y que no se enfoca solamente en el tema latino como una sola bandera, sino también dentro de nuestra cultura, pues los otros países existentes dentro de nuestra cultura acá en la zona metropolitana. Is that an ongoing training? Is that mandatory? Is that something that police officers do once every 3 years? Or is it a yearly basis? How?
So first and foremost, they get it when they're in a recruit. When they become
Primero obtienen el adiestramiento cuando son reclutas.
And we've really focused on this extensively since about 2006.
Desde el 2006 nos hemos enfocado muy extensamente en este tema.
Right, and so we do have different cultural training that we do with our veteran officers. We don't do it every year, but we bring in the different phases of this type of training over a couple of years.
Cada 2 años para los agentes, los oficiales del orden que ya son veteranos en la fuerza, como cada 2 años se le da este adiestramiento para que tengan mejor comprensión del tema cultural dentro de nuestra comunidad.
So, and we want to make sure, and we want our officers to really understand we call implicit bias. We want them to understand that everybody has biases, right? And that they bring to the table. And so we want to make sure that they are able to identify internally their own biases. And sometimes that might be from a culture perspective, or it might not necessarily be cultural. It could be other things that could cause those biases that would have some negative impact.
Estos adiestramientos culturales, pues obviamente incluyen el componente de uno autorreconocer las propias opiniones personales de uno hacia otras comunidades, porque parte de eso es cuando las personas forjan opiniones basadas, ¿no?, en cada comunidad, debido a nuestra propia perspectiva. Ayuda a los agentes del orden a autoidentificar cuáles son sus propias opiniones ya forjadas sobre comunidades las cuales pudieran tener un impacto negativo a la hora de tratar con el público. Part of it is having a diverse force. that understands the community, that comes from the community. That's been always a challenge.
Yes.
It's not only here in Montgomery County, but nationwide.
Correct.
It's a challenge hiring new police officers. Like, not everybody wants to be a police officer like people used to want to be. So how are you handling that internally here in Montgomery County to make the force abundant and diverse?
So it's clearly some challenges. And one of the, I think we have been looking at really hard, and we're really moving this forward, is to develop some homegrown talent. And so one of the things we're doing is really trying to focus on our hiring process through, for example, our cadet program, where we're getting young people who are just entering college or who may already be in college, but who have an interest in law enforcement. And so we're hiring them while they're in college. So they're working for us part-time, getting acclimated
to get extra money for the cadet program.
Yes. So about 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we received funding for the cadet program. So we've been running with this. Well, maybe more than that, actually. I think we may be more around 3 years now. So we've actually hired some of of our cadets who are now Montgomery County police officers.
El tema de lo que es la fuerza policíaca, hacerla más abundante, más grande. Ahorita hay 1,300 oficiales del orden, pero a la misma vez más diversa. Es un reto, no solamente acá en el condado, a nivel nacional. Parte de lo que está implementando el condado hace como 3 años es el programa de cadets a través de los colleges, de las universidades, precisamente para asistir a los jóvenes que están estudiando, que quieren ser policía, que están estudiando, que se encaminan en cualquier carrera que tenga que ver con el orden público. Pues básicamente ellos se incorporan en el programa de cadet y quedan contratados con la policía. We need to chat about that a little more extensively so that I can help promote in the community.
Okay, absolutely.
Chief, I got to take this call real quick. This is MC311.
Okay.
So we have Hilda on the line. You can listen to her if you want.
All right.
MC311 is a good little segment that we have now. They're giving us like the latest update news that we need. And it'll take about 30 seconds.
Okay.
Remember, you're live.
Okay.
And then we're going to come back to talk a little bit about pedestrian safety and also the couple of last shootings that have taken place in downtown Silver Spring.
Okay.
Hilda, rapidito, buenas tardes, ¿cómo estamos?
Buenas tardes, Lona. Buenas tardes a todos. Saludos.
Gracias.
Gracias. Aquí solamente para recordarles que a nuestros radioescuchas que para llamadas de urgencia o de emergencia, por favor no olviden llamar al 911, pero sin embargo nosotros estamos aquí en el Centro de Servicio al Cliente del 311 para tener llamadas llamadas de no urgencia o no urgentes, como por ejemplo para reportar ramas que se han caído de árboles y están bloqueando la carretera o las calles, o basura que se ha tirado y está abandonada, cualquier situación que no requiera ser urgente o de emergencia, y estamos aquí de 7 de la mañana a 7 de la noche, de lunes a viernes.
Pues muchísimas gracias, Hilda. Hilda Muñoz, ella es una de nuestras representantes de servicio a los clientes, a nuestros residentes en nuestro centro MC311, MC311. Y ya escucharon a Hilda, gracias por acompañarnos, la escucharon. Non-emergency. She's actually talking, this is our MC311 segment where we get a customer service representative calling in on Tuesdays, and she tells us kind of like the latest volume of calls that they're getting to help out the community. But what she plugged in today was non-emergency, don't call the police, call us. So that's good for you.
Absolutely, yes.
It's like, this non-emergency, don't call the police. You know, if it's a tree branch or whatever else, call us. We'll take care of it.
Absolutely.
So there it is. Gracias, Hilda. Muy buenas tardes. Disculpa rapidito porque es que tenemos hoy al jefe de la policía, pero muchísimas gracias por tu intervención.
Un placer. Gracias a ustedes.
Gracias. Buenas tardes. All right. So she's like reminding county residents, now that the police chief is there, call the police, of course, 911 for emergencies. They have their own non-emergency number, but whatever else you need, call us. We're here. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about, we talked about the hiring challenges. You talked about a little bit about the strategies that you're working a little bit on, like the cadet program. Anything else that you're going to try to push to get a more diverse workforce? I know in the past, some jurisdictions, like when they needed bilingual English and Spanish officers, they went down to Puerto Rico to do, hiring.
Right.
things,
Yeah.
hiring events and fairs.
I haven't gotten to that point yet, but I
Let's go to Miami
Yeah,
together.
right. Let's do it, right? But I would put out a challenge to the Latino community, and so the challenge I put out is that we need representation on our police department from the Latino community at a greater level, right? And we need more minorities on our police department that helps to represent Montgomery County. We're being very diverse. So, but what I would do is I would encourage our folks to challenge who want to become a part of Montgomery County Police. That goes and helps people in your community and beyond, right? The overall community. That will be a great. It is a great career. There's so many different things to do. There's so many needs, particularly across the board culturally, that would assist us, and we would want our community members to be a part of our team. So that's our challenge.
Pues un reto acá acaba de regalarnos nuestro jefe de la policía, Marcus Jones, es verdaderamente necesitamos más agentes del orden, más policías que sean bilingües, que sean hispanos, que vengan de nuestra comunidad. Y para resumir, el reto es que sean parte del equipo de la policía del condado de Montgomery, que miren al departamento de la policía del condado como una oportunidad de una carrera profesional para la juventud que está acá. Are you hiring today?
Always, yes, yes.
Because I know we've done recruitment campaigns in Spanish language here in the past. So are you currently hiring?
We are currently hiring. We have been every 6 months putting together a recruit class consistently, and we have to do that because we have to keep up with the numbers of attrition for officers who are retiring or who go on to do other things. But the reality is that we're getting ready to start a brand new recruit class in February. We have one that's getting ready to graduate as we begin a new one, and we'll be looking to start another recruit class in August. And so we are in the process of accepting applications and going through the process for the test, bringing the test to individuals for them to take the test and then to go through the background investigations.
En pocas palabras, el Departamento de la Policía continúa contratando para agentes del orden. Necesitamos bilingüe. MontgomeryCountyMD.gov/careers.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Para ahorita, en febrero, va a comenzar otra clase de adiestramiento de los reclutas. Es tomar un examen, pasar, pues por supuesto, el examen, la prueba, ¿no?, de los antecedentes que se hace, el background check, pero siempre se está reclutando y de hecho para agosto hace falta otra clase de reclutas, así que hacen falta policías. Montgomery County, md.gov/careers.
And we're also hiring for police dispatchers and communicators. So we need those folks as well who are multilingual. That will also be of great assistance.
This is 911?
This is our 911 center. Yes.
El centro de llamadas de emergencia, el 911-911, pues también está contratando y obviamente hace falta personal bilingüe que hable español. Montgomery County, md.gov/careers. Very quickly, downtown Silver Spring, we have a couple minutes left only. Downtown Silver Spring, the shootings that have happened in the last week or so, two different shootings. It seems to be groups. You work Silver Spring. You're very familiar.
Yes.
What's going on in downtown Silver Spring? Is it gang related? What is going on?
So we're investigating both incidents. The one that occurred the previous Sunday, that occurred on Ellsworth Place. We believe that to be potentially gang-related. We think those individuals probably are out of the District of Columbia. So we're monitoring that, making sure that we're trying to do our best to make sure that we're making sure that these groups aren't meeting up and there's more turmoil that they're trying to create. And we're still doing an investigation and lots of work to do in that case. The second case, which is more, it just came out on, that occurred over the weekend as well. This one, we're not quite sure what we have yet. We're still doing a lot of work. The detectives are looking at cameras from the local businesses to try to figure out exactly what is going on. So we'll keep folks we'll keep them up to date as we get more information to share.
Déjame traducir eso rápidamente, que se nos acaba el programa. Han habido 2 tiroteos en la zona, en el corazón de Silver Spring. Uno ha sido identificado, posiblemente pandillas de Washington, D.C. El segundo aún está investigando la policía, viendo las cámaras de video, los videos, a ver de qué se trata. More patrolling in that area?
Yes, we've got more concerted patrols in that area in order to have a higher visibility during those time frames.
Okay, so we ran out of time, Chief. We didn't talk about pedestrian safety. It's an issue that is pending, but it's okay. You come back. Para ustedes en sintonía, pues muchísimas gracias. Ya saben, trabajos con la policía, Montgomery County, md.gov/careers.
Y hasta aquí su espacio, Montgomery al Día. Gracias por su amable sintonía.